Michael Mike's Bags. Today I'm reviewing the Mutation by Wasteland Bags. Let's go ahead and dive in, break these bags down, start with materials. Slow side. This is a hybrid material. It's that material I call the clone material. It's the same slow side you find on the B3 Coyote, Southwest Hefe, Swag Bags, Tornado Kaboom, the Costello X, Buffalo Sauce. It's a touch slower, a little more controllable than Viper R. So I call it a 5-speed. Brand new, it's going to play 5.5, 6. But as it breaks in, softens up, it gets down to, it settles about a 5. The beauty of these hybrid materials is, and this is no exception, is that they stay pretty consistent across all board conditions. So you're going to get that roughly that 5 speed no matter what the conditions are out there. So you can kind of play it really. It's a great material to have when you're playing all day events or tournaments where weather conditions change, or tournaments where it goes from day, afternoon to evening, and you get those differing conditions. A bag like this, you can play and get a pretty consistent play on that. So 5 speed on the slow side. Fast side, this is that game changer, surefire fast side material. It's like an 8.5 speed. It's fast. It's great for pushing up through blockers, cleaning up messes, kind of blowing up piles. Wonderful fast side material. So you're looking about a 5, 8.5 speed on these Mutation bags. Template wise, it's a medium template bag, but it's on that smaller side of medium. So it's kind of a medium small template on there. However, the bag does have these smaller corners, more of a square corner, not as rounded, which gives the bag a little bit bigger playability on it. It plays like a bigger bag, even though it's not. And I'll get more into that about playability on how I think that benefits the bag and how you can utilize it to your advantage. But anyway, kind of that medium small template here. It's a medium amount of fill, but it has a fuller feel to it because you don't have that really large template in here. And the type of fill, it's a mixed fill in here. So you got a good mixture of flat with some round, different size around here. It's a really wonderful fill. I love the way the fill plays. Gives the bag just enough movement and action to really make it a great shop shaping bag, and the bag just drips in the hole really well. So love the fill that Wasteland uses in this Mutation bag. Like I said, it's not overly floppy, so it has flop to it, but it is not overly floppy at all. For those of you who like a fuller feeling bag, I think you're going to love the way this bag feels in your hand. I grip it, grab a hold of it, I can lock it down and have complete control over it. The bag's not moving at all. There's no slop to it whatsoever. So definitely for those people who like a fuller feeling bag, you're going to want to check this out. That's going to lead me into playability on this. And with these Mutation, they're extremely versatile bag. And anytime I review this material, I talk about how versatile it is and why players love it so much because of everything you can do with it. If you want to get up there and run bags in the hole, both these materials extremely hole friendly, especially the slow side. For the control you get with it, it's a very hole friendly material. And you mix in this mixed fill, this bag really does drip in the hole well. You'll see here a lot of bags that are grabbing in the hole and fall and melting in there. And if a bag did hang up, very easy to collect, clean up. So if you want to run bags in the hole, you can definitely do this Mutation. If you want to play a dirty style game, you can definitely do that as well. You have the control of the slow side to put those blockers where you want. You know, I could put a blocker, level 1, level 2, level 3 blocker up there. I had the control to place it on whichever side. I mean, really, you can really control me up this bag and put this bag where you want there. And typically, these medium to small template bags are not great for dirty style games. And the reason is because when you have a smaller template bag up there, it's a smaller target to hit. And you're throwing a smaller template bag to collect, so you've got a smaller bag that you're throwing and you're trying to hit a smaller target. It makes it tougher to collect, and a lot of times the bags kind of want to spin out of the way. But because of these smaller, more squared off corners, what that does is it makes the bag easier to grab the other bag. You don't have to hit as much. You're just catching the corner, and the corners kind of almost, because they have that square, they almost want to hook. They almost hook and grab. Where rounded corners, the rounded corners hit and just kind of push and slide away. There's nothing to grip hold of. But when you get these smaller, more square corners, they hook it and they grab it. So I found this bag to be a wonderful bag to collect. Like I could have a bag out there and get more aggressive, put that bag more on my opponent's side, knowing that I don't have to do anything crazy. If I can just come down the middle, you know, special last bag in the middle was the fast side. I'm just going to grab it. The corners are going to hook, and it's just going to drag that bag with it and take both bags up there. So the advantage you get with this kind of this medium small template is the control you have, right? You can grab this bag. Like I said, it has a fuller feeling to it. There's no flop. There's not that slop to it. So you really have complete control. You can manipulate this bag and get a really consistent release out of it. But typically the trade-off on that is then you lose the collectability, or you give up a little bit of collectability. They're harder to collect. But because of these square corners, you kind of keep that collectability. So you're really getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the control of that full bag, and you're getting the collectability of a little bit bigger bag out there. And so I loved this bag for playing more of that dirty style game. If I'm going more dirty or a hybrid, if I'm wanting to put some blockers up there, I really loved the way this mutation played and the control I had with it. Shot shaping is another thing it does well because of the fill in here. Like I said, it's a fairly active fill, so you've got some movements and bounce. Makes the bag great for cuts, rolls, flops. Even for players that are just starting to learn, if you're trying to get into that roll or a cut style game, you haven't really developed a skill full yet. This is a wonderful bag. It has enough movement that it's really easy for cuts, rolls, flops, and I think anyone can really can do it with this bag. I had fun with my cuts. This bag being able to make those really harsh, aggressive cuts that I typically can only make with a stickier, slower carpet bag. But with this hybrid material, I was able to make those cuts with this fill and still get the drippiness and hole filliness of this hybrid material over that stickier carpet bag. I loved it. I really did. I put a bag up there, and for me, like I like to play kind of that, throw that blocker up there, get around, and then come down and clean it up at the end if my opponent hasn't cleaned up. But it's also great if you play against an opponent who throws that dirty style game and they're putting blockers up there and putting bags in your way. The shot shaping of this bag gives you the ability to get around it with the cuts, rolls, or flops if you need to. Fast enough on the fast side, you can just push through, multiple bags. You have enough speed on the fast side to push your multiple bags with no problem whatsoever. And honestly, when you're collecting multiple bags too, a lot of the issues you have is bags bunching and clogging the hole. I didn't really have that, and I think it's because it's not a bigger template bag. It's kind of that medium to small, as I mentioned, that there's a little bit more space in there for multiple bags to slip in there. So I really didn't have an issue with this bag clogging the hole. If I had to give one negative, one knock on the bag, I would say it's the forgiveness around the hole. And that comes from the flop, right? A floppier bag, I talk about all the time, you have a floppy bag, that corner dips in. So when a bag goes up, especially those larger template bags, when that bag goes up there, that large floppy corner, it just kind of dips in, grabs, pulls the bag, and brings it back in. But this being a little bit fuller feeling bag, maybe not quite as large, you lose a little bit of that, but that's a trade-off, right? You're gaining so much control with this bag. You're gaining the ability to shot shape really well, but you got to give up something. I talk about cornhole bags being that zero-sum game. When you gain somewhere else, you've got to give up something somewhere else, and you got to decide for you as a player what areas of the game are more important to you, and that's how you choose your bag. If that whole forgiveness is more important to you, then you're going to give up some control. You're going to give up some of that shot shaping skills to get that. But if you really want shot shaping, if you want to roll, cut, flop, maybe you got to give up some of that forgiveness around the hole, right? So you just got to figure that out. So it's not really a negative on the bag. It's the direction that Wasteland went with this bag. And I really like it. I love the versatility this bag gives you in all the ways you can put bags in the hole, and the ways even the dirtier the board got, the more I enjoy throwing this, right? So it's really a fun bag I found for when you're playing against an opponent who throws a dirty style game, and maybe you want to throw one too as well, and you've got 4 or 5 bags around the hole. With this bag, you've got so many ways to get around, still put your bag in the hole, or flip it over and just blow that pile up and take your bags in. So really loved it. It's a fun bag to play. If you like a dirty board, you like playing that blocker style game, I think you're going to love this mutation. I highly recommend you give it a try. That leads me into availability, and Wasteland Bags has a website, wastelandbags.com. Link down in the description for you guys. As always, the bags are normally $70 for a set. Right now, they're on sale for just under $60 for a set of them. So I don't know how long the sale's going to last. If you want a set, you better go jump on there quickly. Shipping is free. I don't know if I didn't really see. I don't know if shipping's free all the time or just for the sale as well. But right now you get a set of bags for right around $60, which is an incredible price. It's at the lowest price point you're getting bags. High quality bag for that. So if you've been thinking about trying out one of these hybrid materials, especially this clone material, I recommend checking out the Mutation. I think you're going to love it. If you've thrown this bag, I'd love to hear your comments, your feedback on that. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. I always love hearing you guys' opinions. I thank you so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.